In the last episode of Town Hall 11 Free to Play, we discussed the significance of the builder's base and how it helps your home village. Today I've got 4 easy, fast training loot armies to help you upgrade your bases. So you know what's really frustrating is when you watch an upgrade priority guide and it seems like everything the YouTuber is showing you is incredibly expensive. In my situation, I told you to start out with the army camps, and the army camps are like 7 million elixir a piece, and you're just like, okay, what army do I use? And then you go back to YouTube and you look up what's the best army for Town Hall 11. You know you've done it before, and you found like Hybrid or the Electro Dragons or all these really super expensive armies. I know, I've been there too. What's going on, guys? My name is Joe and welcome back for episode 7 of the Town Hall 11 Free to Play series. Today we're going to take a look at 4 cheap, fast armies that you can use to claim the elixir that you need to get your offense done, or the gold that you need to do your defensive upgrades really fast. The only thing that's going to be slowing us down is waiting on our builders. But here's the stipulation for our armies today. No super troops will be involved. Maybe you don't want to unlock super troops. Maybe you want to save your dark elixir for hero upgrades, which also means no heroes today because I hope that you're upgrading your heroes. And then last but not least, no siege machines and no clan castle troops because some of you might not be able to get them, and that is understandable. Now these armies are not trophy armies, so you should not be caring about your trophies at all. You should be perfectly fine with losing trophies, and we'll talk about pros and cons. So we're starting out with an all goblin army. You guys know this, man. This is pretty basic stuff. You should have learned this down at maybe Town Hall 8, Town Hall 9, maybe Town Hall 10, but it is what it is. If you haven't learned it then, you're gonna learn it now. So we got 240 goblins on my base. This guy was hitting my base. Clearly this is not the best farming base in the world, but it's okay. He gives me a reason to come back online and attack every single day by stealing my loot. And realistically, all you're doing is dropping your goblins around the base and stealing the resources that are available on the base, whether it's gonna be the gold that's inside the storages or the elixir inside the storages. You can bring some jump spells to help you out. Now, one thing to keep in mind, that if you are trying to claim elixir and you're not trying to spend a lot of elixir, then bringing spells is not necessarily the best idea, so you don't always have to do it. But this is just an easy variant that you can use a training potion, train up your goblins really fast. Not really understanding those jump spell placements, but it is what it is, I guess. You know, he wasn't going to get past the wizard tower anyways, but he's able to get in there, steal my gold very nicely. He's going to drop another crazy jump spell placement over here on the right side to get in on this gold storage, and he's going to basically leave the raid after this. So the one pro of this is that it's a really fast army. You can steal loot really fast, and the con to it is that you will lose trophies if you're not trying to obtain the win, unless you bring like a battle blimp or something to send it in on the town hall and take down the town hall. But a simple way to do this is to just grab the loot and run, and that's exactly what he does. So this is going to walk away with over 400,000 of my gold, but again, he was able to save quite a bit of loot in the process. For army number 2, we are using the beloved Barbarian and Archer army. 120 barbarians, 120 archers with a whole bunch of lightning spells on dead bases like such. We are down in a very low trophy league. We'll talk about trophy leagues here in a moment where the best loot is hiding out, especially as a new Town Hall 11, and you're basically just using your barbarians and archers to grab the loot from around the outsides of the base, while we can use the new lightning spell on those dark elixir drills that are hiding out inside the base and grab the dark elixir. Now remember, you cannot do damage to a town hall, nor can you do damage to any of the storages themselves with the lightning spell, but you can take out those dark elixir drills that are hiding out inside. Now, one of the pros of this army is very fast training, especially if you're using the training potion or a training boost with your gems. And the con is that you won't always win with this army. So if you're worried about your trophies, this is not necessarily the best army for you. But again, you're going to see that it can steal massive loot with a pool of over 822,000 gold, 742,000 elixir, and over 5,000 worth of dark elixir. We're going to walk away from this one without using that Barb King because remember, this is a no hero farming video. For army number 3, we have an all baby dragon dragon army. For me these days, this is actually a personal favorite because I've been using these armies for such a long time that barbarians and archers and goblins are a little bit boring, and that's why we have 4 armies for you. That way you can rotate through these armies and have the same effect or a similar effect. Now you will also see that I did bring lightning spells for this army just to show you what you can do with them. Take out the air defenses, help your baby dragons out, or you could just come in without any spells at all and take down bases, or at least grab the loot and save some of your elixir. One of the keys when it comes to this army is to make sure that you're not using all of your baby dragons, because they take a little bit longer to train than the barge or than the goblins, and they also cost a little bit more elixir. So you want to try to preserve your army and not use as many of them as as possible. Now, one pro of this army is that you can obtain the win a lot more than you can with the barge or the goblins. More than likely, you should be able to grab the percentage to obtain the win, and also if you can get your hands on some clan castle troops or a siege machine, you can also use the siege machine to go in on top of the town hall and take it out with goblins or Yeti or Valkyries or something like that. Now we are going to go ahead and speed this one up because I did have a little bit of elixir left over. We had to battle it out versus a couple of air defenses, but you see that if I maintain a little bit of patience between dropping the baby dragons, they will maintain that rage effect and grab the elixir that was left on this base. But unfortunately with this attack I used a little bit more baby dragons than what was necessary, but we did obtain a bulk of the loot, and we will walk away with, what is it, over 500,000 and over 600,000 worth of golden elixir on this one. And last but not least, we've included an all miner army. It worked for you at Town Hall 10, it should work for you at Town Hall 11 to get you started. Now one of the things about the miners is that once you get your archer queen back and you can start doing that queen charge miner attack, you should be able to take down bases very efficiently in farming, whether it's a dead base or a very much live base. But right now we're approaching it in the sense that you are more than likely upgrading your heroes, so you need a lot of dark elixir. This is more of a dark elixir farming army, a little less than claiming the elixir. Now one of the things about this army is that you should be able to obtain the win because you're sweeping through the entire base and grabbing just about everything that's available on the base. One of the major cons about this army is that it does require the heal spell to keep the miners alive, to get them through the base and at least try to obtain that win or at least grab the resources. Another thing about this army is that you could be missing out on some of the gold and elixir that's on the outsides of the base unless you have the Barbarian King in your arsenal like I do in this one. And I just wanted to include this army in this lineup because the first couple of armies are more for your gold and your elixir, and this one is more for your dark elixir if you're trying to complete those hero upgrades very, very fast. Now we did speed this one up. We had a group of miners that kicked on the outside and went after a little bit of elixir, and I kind of cheated in this replay and I did use the Barb King to grab the loot on the backside of the base. Please forgive me. Don't be upset with me for using a hero in this replay. I just could not pass it up. I had to make sure that I grabbed the loot that was remaining on this base, got the win, took down the town hall, but the miners just weren't strong enough. We're still working with the level 3s because we have not upgraded them at Town Hall 11 just yet. But there's your army right there and the amount of loot that we stole in this replay. So that was 4 different armies that you can use to get you started at Town Hall 11. That means that there's 240 housing space available on your bases, meaning that you have not upgraded your army camps to 260 housing space just yet. But that's going to be coming in the future because you can use these armies to get the resources necessary to upgrade your army camps or do an upgrade in your laboratory. And we all know by now after episode 2 that that laboratory has some seriously expensive upgrades, and these are things that you need to try to maintain that loot flow. And so if you're a little bit of a downer, we got gold and elixir there for days in the storages right now, so that's just showing you that these armies do work. This is not a joke, this is not a fluke. I'll show you the attack log real fast and you'll see that I am using the baby dragons in a manner of not bringing any elixir spells, because not bringing any spells means that I'm not using as much elixir to maintain the loot flow on my base. 875,000 gold in elixir in the first raid. I only dropped 13 baby dragons, and I took the loss because I want to save the elixir up and I don't want to use it very, very fast. The same thing applies down here as we move through the rest of these replays, showing you the miner attack, showing you the barge, and showing you more baby dragon attacks. I mean, the loot continuously flows in on my base. I'm not worried about trophies. That is not my concern right now. My concern right now is to get my stuff upgraded. That way I can start trophy pushing later on down the line. I'm not using high expensive armies like witches or the electro dragons. We don't even have electro dragons yet. We're still trying to unlock them. And we're also not using stuff like the hybrid attack. Those are more of your war armies. Now, if you're more concerned about where to find the dead loot, a lot of players out there say that they can never never find this dead loot. If you want to go into these lower leagues, you want to be in either silver, gold, crystal, low master league, and as you develop, you can start pushing your way back up through the trophy range. But right now, we're back at the beginning of a new town hall level, so we want to make sure that we keep those upgrades going. Now, one other resource that you can use is the loot forecaster website. It is basically trying to tell you how much loot is available at a certain time of the day based on the region that you live. I will have that one linked down in the description below for you to check out for yourself, but you know, sometimes I'll reference that and it'll show loot or no loot, but I don't always base my farming off of that website. I just use it as a tool to get a good idea on why I'm not finding any loot. All right, so let's go ahead and finish up this video with one final raid, a little bit of a live demonstration of the baby dragons in action. This is not a difficult army to put into action anyways, but even though I'm full on my gold, I'm still trying to get the dark elixir necessary, so that way if my archer queen comes back up, I can put her back down immediately without delay. Because one of the things when it comes to farming resources and trying to upgrade your bases is that you got to have the resources available to keep that builder down immediately. That way there's like no delay between your upgrades, if that makes any sense. So we're going to drop baby dragons around the top side of the base, and I do not have any clan castle troops, so we might be able to obtain the win without the clan castle troops. Let's see if we can try to secure the win here. Let's drop a baby dragon right there. Let's drop baby dragon there. I'm going to try not to use my king and just grab the win with just the baby dragons. We do have to deal with some air defenses. I do not have any additional spells other than one poison spell, and we did get the win there. So that is actually a really good way to stop the video right there. So if you enjoyed our content, make sure you leave a like on the video and subscribe if you have not done so already. And if you like watching us every single day, turn on those notifications. If you need any additional video support or you need an upgrade priority guide, click one of those links over there, and we will see you in the next one, guys. Take care.